about the sleep disorders. You know, what a thing, that sleep is something which we were given free, like our body has been given to us, absolutely free, no charge. And today we have lost not just knowledge, not just wisdom, not just ability to have an integrated mind, but the most simplest gift of Lord, gift of nature, sleep. We have even lost that.
Has the new age arrived? Means, has the process of a world radically different from the way we have known it so far actually begun? It's not for the first time in human history that such a question is being asked, and it implies basically 3 points. Firstly, that we are disgusted with the world as it is now, because full of evil, injustice and misery. Lord Buddha said more than 2,500 years ago, the world is basically dukkha. But then we are not satisfied with the world as it is. We want to change it. There's a willingness to do something about it. And what we have decided to do, we have a hope that it will work. This is what, in fact, has been behind all revolutions.
We are neither in Kali Yuga nor in Satyug. We are in Sangam Yuga. So the shift has already happened, that we have moved from Kali Yuga to Sangam. So Sangam is this confluence, this transition that is happening, as has been shared. What is happening? We are seeing that shift from, as he has put it, mental consciousness or ego consciousness to soul consciousness. But where that, gap is still remaining, I think there are so many platforms where the knowledge about the soul and this consciousness is being imparted. Brahma Kumaris is also one such platform. But then that shift is happening through so many other platforms. And people have become more aware of, these choices.
Spirituality will grow. More people will call, they're already calling themselves spiritual and not religious. In fact, in America there has been such surveys where more and more young people say they are spiritual and not religious. I will say that spirituality is, yes, growing, and also religiosity, not religion, but religiosity is growing, and one manifestation of that is terrorism. And we cannot, being journalist, I can say that we cannot deny that there is more terrorism than ever before, but that is a sign of manifestation of religiosity going away from the core of what religion is or should be. And so spirituality, with more spirituality growing and religion declining, hopefully.
If something is good, it attracts you. If something is bad, automatically even the uninitiated know it's bad.
जब मैं था तब हरे नहीं, अब हरी है। मैं नहीं, अब हरी है। मैं नहीं।
Dhvani, these are words that I'm sure all of us have heard at some point in our lives. What is nada? Sound. What is na? What is the? The beautiful part about Sanskrit language is that every word which is made up of syllables, in that word every syllable has a meaning. So nada is, da is something being hit.
I always believe that we should never mix religion and spirituality together, because religion is a method to become spiritual. these are methods. Various people have found various methods to reach levels of elevation. And if we mix these two, there is a lot of distortion. And people do not understand. So a magazine like Life Positive, because of various perspectives, I think gives a large amount of clarity to the people on what is real and what is unreal. Then it is up to the people to choose. People can choose only as per their level of awareness. They cannot choose anything bigger than that. So, having said that,
I cannot make you happy and you cannot make me happy. 100%. I can do something for you, you can do something for me is fine. But that does not mean that I can make you happy and you can make me happy. No, I can do something for you. Doing things for people, yes, we can do a lot for people. But there's no guarantee, because if you do it with the intention and understanding that I'm doing this to make them happy, and after doing everything, if you feel that they're still not happy, then that's going to become the cause of pain for us. And we will say, which is a very common line, इनके लिए इतना किया, इतना किया, इतना किया, ये अभी भी खुश नहीं है तो हम दुखी हो जाते हैं.
Our anger and ego, pair 1. Greed and temptation, pair 2. Attachment and stress, pair 3. And they're not in any hierarchical order. If you give yourselves a week and you say, on day 1, I'm going to work on one of...
The common sense response seems to me that if we have a good day and we practice and we're thinking of other people, so unless you have a biological reason, high blood pressure or nervous tension or a stomach ache or something like that. I mean, ordinarily we get a good night's sleep if we've had a good day and we have not been obsessed with ourselves. And what tends to happen, the reason we don't get a good night's sleep is as we're falling asleep, we find it difficult to let go of the observer, of the self that is observing us failing to fall asleep. And if we can let go, what happens when we sleep is we let go of the self, the observer, and so we fall asleep. So it seems to me that the practices that dilute our sense of self should also give us a good night's sleep. That's my experience of it.
Given in the Quran, in these words, Vamma mayan ho nas swam ko supillar. It means that if you are a given member of society, that society will accept you. If you are a taker member of society, society will not accept you. So Muslims are Western world, under compulsion, must rethink that we have to change our image. Now our image is we are problem community in the West. We have to change this image. We are not problem community. We are a giver community. We are asset for West. So this process...
Now, if you get involved in theological controversies, you are never going to get a common ground for religions. For example, if you talk about rebirth, half the world believes in reincarnation, the other half doesn't believe it. So you can go on arguing forever and ever, you never come to any conclusion. But if, for example, you take positive things, you take the importance of safeguarding the natural environment, you take the importance of the welfare of children, you take the importance of spreading health and education around the world, you take the importance of trying to bring about a better understanding between the various religions by all the interfaith meetings that we've had ever since 1893 in Chicago. There have been hundreds and hundreds of meetings. Maulana Sahib has attended many. I have attended many. Merchant here, he's been to the last two parliaments. But somehow or the other, I get the impression that
if we have no limitation for our love, our kindness, our compassion, our devotion, if we have no limitation, then we can manifest limitlessness from us. If we have limitation in our love, our compassion, our devotion, then we cannot manifest limitlessness. It will be limited. It will be limited. So, when we say such thing, I cannot talk about other religion, although I believe truly, not as a political correct manner, but truly I believe all religion must be same. I believe.